This is the marketplace at the Bold Centre in Lac La Biche, Alberta. It's not like at most marketplaces that you may have been to. It's kind of the Walmart of this evacuation centre, but at the same time, you won't see any cash registers here. You're going to see lots of customers, but no cashiers. That's because absolutely everything here has been donated. Absolutely everything is free. Now we're walking down the clothing section right now. We're in the women's clothing area. You can see that volunteers have pointed out the sizes of things. Things are organized by the kind of clothing that people might be looking for. Of course, the folks that have arrived at this evacuation center have arrived oftentimes with almost nothing. So that's why when they come, they are directed to this part of the evacuation center where they can essentially get everything they need. It's really fascinating and amazing how quickly this town, this city, was able to bring in this amount of donations, organize them, and get them ready for the people who have shown up here. We've got 1,800 evacuees registered at this evacuation center, and you can see that they're milling about. Obviously, we're not going to go into the area where they're staying, but what we are seeing right now is just the overwhelming support that has been given by this community. If you look over here, you can see it's not just clothing. We've got diapers. There is wipes for the kids that have shown up here. You got to remember that when people fled from the fires that hit Fort McMurray, they left with just the clothes on their backs in many cases, and many of these people that are on the road have children, so they need everything. They need bottles, they need containers, they need for serving food to their children. They need absolutely everything that any normal family, normal Canadian family would need on a day-to-day basis, and you can see that the people of Lac La Biche have stepped up. The people of the surrounding area have stepped up. There is baby food, diapers. We have, if you look over here, you can see this area that just a day ago was a basketball court is now one of the largest free markets that you can possibly imagine. So if we take away down here, you can also see, I mean, on the other side of the room, there's water. Water is obviously one of the things that people have to have when they get here, and without water, you know, you have no life. So it's really fascinating how quickly the town of Lac La Biche was able to bring this together to support the evacuees from Fort McMurray. And if we take a quick turn around here, you can see that they're not just providing the basic necessities of life. It's not just food, it's not just clothing, it's not just water, but it's also entertainment and recreation. If you come this way, you can see that an entire area has been set up for children to play. There's a giant big screen television where kids can watch movies. It is a situation, an environment that has been entirely designed to help the people that have wound up here under really trying, really terrible circumstances. Obviously, this side of the gymnasium turned into that massive market, but the other side of the gymnasium left what it was, a gymnasium. And of course, we've got kids playing volleyball, kids playing basketball, kids doing all of the things that kids should be doing rather than worrying about where they're going to be able to get their next meal, where they're going to be staying. So you can see we probably have a few hundred people milling about in here right now, you know, finding the things they need to get through the day, so to speak, get through the coming days. The people here, as they've arrived, they've been telling us they don't know where they're going to be sleeping. They don't know where they're going to be eating. They don't know if they're going to be able to return to the homes that they've left behind. It's a heartbreaking situation for them. The children that you can see playing over there may not be returning to their toys. They may not be returning to their homes. They may not be returning to their schools. So it's just absolutely heartwarming to see what the folks here in Lac La Biche have done to encourage these people, to help them out. I talked to one woman earlier today who told me that she's been breaking down and crying, and before she has the first tissue to her eyes, there's 5 people there providing support. You can also see that the government of Alberta is here. We've got the resources that these folks are going to need. Across the aisle here, we can see so many resources being offered to these people. We have insurance brokers here. So the disaster insurance people are on the scene to provide the help that these people need so desperately. You can see the lines are already queuing here. And I'm going to, if you bear with me, I'm going to take you and show you a different view of this, this environment and something really interesting. So if we take a walk this way, you can see all the people still making their way into this center, which normally houses a couple hockey rinks, the local high school, and the library. And we're going to take a turn up these stairs here, And when we get to the top of these stairs, we're going to get a really amazing vantage point of this marketplace, and we're also going to take you somewhere really special that I think you're going to enjoy, because the people here have thought so thoroughly about what these families might need, about what is first in mind for them, that they have set out a really amazing space that we're going to explore in just a second. But first, why don't you take a look from the top what that marketplace looks like. You can even see down here they've got internet connection set up for people. They've got really everything you could possibly imagine. Places to sit, free shoes, free clothes, everything. But what I wanted to show you is over here, around the corner, and this to me speaks to how much thought was put into what the families affected by this disaster. And we're talking about 80,000 Albertans that woke up one day with nowhere to go. And there's one of the clients right now. Come on this way. So down this hallway is a different kind of shelter. Obviously, people who show up here, they may have no clothes, they may not know if they have a home, but a lot of them make sure that they would come with their pets. And if you take a step through here, you're going to see the other four-legged evacuees that are being helped in this facility. So, same kind of donations, same kind of food, same kind of things that you need, but now a very different clientele. Lines of kennels, animals. You can see the donations that have stacked up, food, cleaning stuff. We can see people are getting to take their dogs out for walks. These animals are part of the family. These animals are part of the families that evacuate. These animals are evacuees as well. The people of Lac La Biche have gone so far that they're even thinking about what's going to happen to the dogs that had to flee. It's really, for me, says about as much as you can about the way the folks of this community have reacted to the people that have come to them, and it says about as much as you can about sort of the response in general. It's been comprehensive, it's been quick, it has been kind, compassionate, and incredibly thorough. There's not really much more to say. We can look at some more animals though. There's cats on the other side. I was playing with some of the cats earlier. There's even an exotic animal section. I was actually told that some people showed up earlier today with chickens. There was 3 chickens housed over there, although they've disappeared now. So this is the cat area. You can get in on some cats, and there's some exotic animals over on the other side. There's a nice cat over there. Look at that guy. Can you imagine how scared these animals were when they woke up, and as they woke up to that smoke, they were just as traumatized as their owners were, I'm sure. So very difficult to wrap your head around how animals would be feeling in a situation like this. A shelter within a shelter. So we're going to take a trot back outside right now. One of those situations that really shows how Canadians, I think, and Albertans specifically in this case, really rise to the occasion. Of course, a lot of the folks in this area have some experience dealing with this kind of evacuation, this kind of disaster, because it was 2011 when the Slave Lake fire wiped out that entire town, and Athabasca, which is just an hour down the road to the west, had to deal with a lot of the same issues. They put up large amounts of evacuees. They had to deal with all of the sort of the hard work of making people feel comfortable in a really, really terrible situation. So, look at the donations. It's an amazing thing. So again, a lot of this stuff coming from locals, also a lot of it coming from folks who have donated to the Red Cross. So that stuff is getting here too. So it's a way that everyone can help. I think that's going to be it for now. We'll try and do this again in the next couple days. How long is that? That's 10 minutes. Just hit finish.